Legendary television producer Norman Lear has died at age 101. Lear is responsible for some of the most indelible TV shows of the 20th century, including The Jeffersons, Good Times, Maude, and Sanford and Son. He may best be remembered for the first show he developed, All in the Family, a sitcom built around Archie Bunker, played by Carroll O'Connor, as the bigoted, oafish father-in-law who constantly butts head with his daughter's left-wing husband, played by Rob Reiner.
What kind of a name is Stivic?
Huh?
Where you from?
Oh, Chicago.
I mean, what's your nationality?
I'm an American.
I mean, where are your people from?
They're from Poland.
That would make you Polish then, huh?
Yeah. Anything interesting in the paper?
Yeah, 200 arrested at Vietnam Day peace demonstration. 200. They should have thrown a whole bunch of them in the can. Look at that picture there. Here they are, throwing all kinds of junk and debris at officers of the law. Desecrating on the American flag. What the hell do them peaceniks want anyhow?
Now, Archie Bunker is supposed to be lovable in spite of his flaws, not because of them. But to many Americans, his open racism and misogyny was something to be celebrated, even emulated. Which may explain why, as Norman Lear wrote in the New York Times last year, nearly 50 years after All in the Family first premiered, that America elected a man like Archie Bunker as its 45th president. Rob Reiner starred in Norman Lear's All in the Family, as you just saw. The two were lifelong friends, with Reiner calling Lear a second father, and Lear financing a number of Reiner's films, including This Is Spinal Tap and The Princess Bride. Actor, director, and activist Rob Reiner joins me now. It's such a great honor to have you, Rob. And first, just condolences on the passing of a man I know that was an enormous influence in your life.
Yeah, no, like you said, he was a second father to me. I mean, I was very lucky to have two men in my life that were great role models. And Norman showed me how you could use your celebrity, use your fame to advance issues that you cared about. I mean, I learned from him when he started People for the American Way that you could accomplish a lot by using your platform. And so I miss him already. I love him. And I've known him since I'm a little kid. And I'm glad to be able to come on your show to talk about him because, this is a man who he flew 57 bombing missions over Nazi Germany in the Second World War. He fought his entire life for democracy and against fascism. And we had so many conversations, even recently in the last couple of months, that he couldn't recognize the country that he fought for so hard. And we now see ourselves on the verge of maybe slipping into fascism. And it's just, you can't wrap your head around what's happened to this country and how a man like Norman, who fought so hard, could see this happening. And, he mentioned in that op-ed that, that we've got a man like Archie Bunker in the White House. But the truth of the matter is, Archie Bunker, he was a racist. He was a bigot. He was very conservative. But he was human. He loved his wife. He loved his daughter. He even loved his son-in-law, who he fought with, mercilessly. Donald Trump is not. He doesn't have any feelings. He's not human. He's a psychopath. And he has the makings, and you guys have been talking about it for days now. This man, and he says it, he's a fascist. He wants to rule as an autocrat, as a dictator. And we have a big choice. And I love that I can come on your show and talk about this because, to speak for Norman, that we have a choice. We can either choose fascism or democracy. And that is it. And that's simple. And, we can argue about issues once we've saved the democracy.
Yeah, let me read from something he wrote about this, about authoritarianism. He says, as a young man, I dropped out of college when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. I flew more than 50 missions in a B-17 bomber to defeat fascism consuming Europe. I'm a flag-waving believer in truth, justice, and the American way, and I don't understand how so many people who call themselves patriots can support efforts to undermine our democracy and our Constitution. It is alarming. And one of the things I find so remarkable and admirable about his career is here's a guy who was, a stalwart liberal his whole life, outspoken, who managed to sort of pull off this very difficult thing, which is to sort of live his politics and to navigate the studio system and the bosses and to make great, entertaining, funny television, all of which that embody his worldview, which is, probably better than anyone, threading those needles is just astoundingly difficult. And for him to do that time and time again over the decades he did is just a stupendous achievement.
It is. And what you say is exactly true. It is incredibly difficult to be able to deal with real characters, with real issues that are facing all of us, to present both sides. One of his favorite plays of all time was Major Barber by George Bernard Shaw. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't know that Shaw was a liberal and you saw that play, you'd say, well, he presents both sides, the pro-war, anti-war case equally. And that's what he wanted to do with All in the Family. He wanted to give people a chance to see both sides, to have the discussion, and then talk about it. And we were a nation of 200 million people at the time. And if you wanted to watch the show, you had to watch it when it was on. There was no TV, DVR, TiVo or anything. You had to watch it. So that means 40 to 45 million people every week had a shared experience. And we talked about the issues. We're so fractured and we don't really get to talk to each other. We have one side, I disagree with Liz Cheney, but I'm on the side of Liz Cheney when we decide we want to save democracy. Let's argue about the issues once we save democracy. But right now you don't have a Republican and Democrat. You got Democrats, and then you've got, it's like I said, you want to have an argument about an issue, you have to both agree that 2 + 2 is 4. Right. Then once you agree to that, then you can discuss. But we have one party that says 2 + 2 is 4, and the other party that says 2 + 2 is Thursday or something. I don't know what it is. and that's the way Norman worked. He would get a laugh out of it, and it is the toughest thing in the world to do what he did.
An incredible career. And also, from every account I've ever heard of the just a true mensch, just a truly decent dude. Rob Reiner, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your memories of a great man that we lost. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Chris.